All right, welcome back, everybody. So today I'm going to continue working on my head here. We can see that last time I was working on the hair mostly, and this awesome Santa mustache and beard combo. I had a previous sample that I was working with for the hair pattern, like where the hair was falling and what it was looking like, and it was actually this guy here. So I've got another sample that I'm going to be working with today, which is going to look like the side hair on the same. So you can see kind of like that he's got his dreads kind of falling down the side. Again, same character. This is Ezekiel from Walking Dead. The idea being that, if I'm using that hair at the beginning here, I should probably use it on the side as well. What strikes me immediately is that we've got this shoulder action going on here where it immediately parts the hair. I might not do that. But getting that idea of, okay, so we have the bigger ones kind of rolling over, even though they're not from back to front, maybe it's not the first one in line, it still is coming in kind of taking precedent here. Same with this one here, it's kind of overlapping and pulling into the other one. So doing that in a 32 by 32 pixel graphic is not going to be super easy, but we'll try to emulate it as much as we can. Okay, so I'm going to come down here. I'm going to drop out my eyes, my hair shading, my skin, my hairdo, and I'm going to work in that same color pattern where I've got my foreground here. So I'm just going to take this initially. Oh, I've got a huge big brush on here. You just scale that down, back to 1. Actually, you know what, let's go for 2, just so we can fill it in a little faster. Okay, so in my reference, I've got, it's kind of a round shape. I'm not going to do the big bump here. I think that's probably just because he had suddenly turned his head and it's uneven. But I like the idea of it coming down the back a little bit and kind of having some texture here. Maybe I'll kind of cut it in this way here and kind of bring it up on the chin. It's probably going to be pretty cool. Okay. Enough of that. All right, so I'm going to start. I'm going to again use this as a reference. I can see in the background here on the template that I have an eye here, an ear here, a nose over here. I will first just kind of hash it in here. Come down the back. I'm going to try and expand it a little bit because the newbie head is relatively bald except for his mohawk or whatever that is going on there. So I'm going to kind of try and keep that going down there. And then bring it up when I'm coming back to this this mustache beard action up here. Okay, so I'm going to keep this as the hair. Again, I've got a bit of this action here where we've got like the peak on the sides. We've got these little indentations where the hairline is, and then this is probably like rolling over the front, I suppose. So I'm going to try and do that a little bit too. Explain it on the hair. I think we'll probably cut a little bit of an ear in there as well. I'm going to go back to a one size brush. I'm going to do eraser. So Shift E for eraser. Oh, I think I have to be in this window. Yeah, there we are. So I'm also going to cut in his ear. Just cuz. And then I'm going to kind of try and taper these guys down here a bit. Actually, I'm going to take that pink, I'm going to extend this one. I'm going to pull this down as well. And do the same thing there. So we've got, I'm going for a little bit of the shoulder, I suppose, but it's going to be something where it's hit and miss if I keep doing that. So I think I'm going to keep this one down. And we'll see how that goes. I'll probably wind up changing the outline on this as we move forward here. Okay, so I'm going to have this whole area. Down here, we're going to have a little nose going on here. And seeing as though this goes all the way out, let's capitalize on that and make it go all the way out here. Okay, I'm gonna use fill, bucket fill. It's actually looking a little bit feminine at the moment. I think that's probably just the pink playing tricks with me though. Improve that color again. We've got this pattern here where we see there's two. There's actually there's 4 pixels up here. There's a bunch of pixels up here in a row, or a column rather. And then from here we got 2 in a column, then 1, then 1, then 1, and then it goes back up to 2, and then it goes to 3 here, and then 2, and then 1, and then 1. These are actually really smooth lines. We can probably smooth that a little bit more by making that a 2. But it's going to look nice when we actually finish that up. I'm going to bring this one across too a little bit. Okay, so from there I'm going to work on the beard. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pixel wide beard. Okay, so from there that means that we have to start at the top here. The top's going to be just under our nose. So let's do it here. 1, 2, 3. So that's our 1, 2, 3 at the top here. Then we got a line for the mouth here, and then I'm going to go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So our beard has to come down to there. Okay, so I'm going to draw that back up here, and I'm going to separate it on this side. I think I want to. Give it a shot and see if it works out that way. Looking a little scraggly. Maybe we shouldn't separate that. Okay, well, we'll try it like this. From there we can keep playing with the little tiny detail in here, but I think it's not really worth the effort. Let's hop into the upper layers here. Okay, so I'm going to go to the hairdo layer. Again, having these colors and textures and stuff predefined is really going to help in the time it takes, because I've taken all these colors and done stuff in the previous tile. Like in this frame up here, I can easily just take it in and bring it down into this section here. Do the work basically from the same template as the previous one. Okay, so looking at this that I've got going on up here, I've got these kind of indiscernible color changes in this, but I see that the white one is first. So let's take this white and make the first one white, and we're going to take it up the side. And it kind of blends in. I mean, it kind of hides in this one here. So I'm going to take this and make the next one. Coming down the side. Oops. All right, I'm working on another layer. My colors don't apply. Okay. From there, if I look up at the top of my initial face, I have a couple little rows up here too. So I'm going to kind of hint at that going on over here. And there was another one in the back somewhere here. Okay, do I have 2 more? I do. I have 2 more back here. Okay, so there's going to be 1 more that's going to come back white. And we'll make it 3. We'll give it some interesting thickness texturing going on there. And the real question is can I get away with another white one in here? I think I can. Let's go for 4. We're gonna make 4 individual, like, distinct dreads going back from there. Based on this colors variation here. So because we have multiple colors going on, we need to kind of account for that. We only have the 2 different colors that I was working with in the previous image, so we have to kind of consider that while we're doing our design of the hair down here. And it looks like a lot more white is showing here than the gray color. That's okay, we'll figure it out as we go. And take it down here. I think this is going to be a little bit of helmet head. I don't really want that going on. So if I fill this, what's it looking like? Oh, it looks like it just is going to cover the world. That means I missed a spot. Yeah, right here. Okay, try it again. There we go. Okay, I'm going to come in here and do some smaller detail in here. And then we got the white beard, which is completely white. I'm going to accentuate it even further than my original boundary there too. Looks good. Okay, cool. This will probably also be played with going forward. I'm going to pull these guys down just because that's what had happened in the graphic there. Like when we had those extra spare pixels floating around, I can come back and remove it. Like I might actually, you know what? Let's give it the definition that it had in the previous one. So we see that up in here we kind of have it curling out. So let's make sure that it looks like it could be curling out on the side. I think actually it's going to come down this way a little bit more. And we're going to take those guys out, maybe 1 or 2 there. And I'm going to remove a whole bunch of this. Just looking at it, I can tell that it's going to be silly looking. Let's give them like a little pompadour thing going on in the front here where we got a blob. We can see there's a blob here too. Happens with dreads sometimes. I mean, if you look at this guy, he has that same kind of action where he's got like a thing where it's like, I mean, technically this is pulled back from his scalp or wig, I suppose, in his case, maybe. Not sure. But there's this like flat area, and then from there you have these dreads coming down. But sometimes you'll get mats and different stuff going on in there. So I think that's warranted up there. But in this image here, we have to consider where it's going to come in on the side. Okay. Zoom down a little bit. Have a look at what we're doing. Let's zoom out. And we need actually another white one up top, don't we? We need one like this, and it's actually at the very top. Maybe like that. I feel like this here is now going to need to get cut back a little bit though. If that's the case, maybe like that. Give it some definition. I'm still not happy with the way this is coming to. I think I'm going to cut a couple lines off of here. And maybe bring this whole thing forward a little bit. So I'm going to cut and paste, bring it forward 2, and I'm just going to line up these pixels along the edge here. So I'm going to take these guys in. Like it never happened. Nope. Those need to come across as well. Ooh, actually I like that. Right here, that's looking good. Ooh, pulled the wrong color. Happens sometimes. Sometimes that's a glorious accident. Sometimes that's a great thing that happens, but sometimes it's terrible. Okay, so I'm gonna erase some of this. Got that pink up here. We got these guys going down the back over here. Not bad. Okay, I think we're ready to go into skin. So for skin, we just had 3 different tones. First thing I'm going to do is outline everything. And then we can come in with the texture colors, the light and the dark. Okay, oh, well, this one here I actually had some lighter pink in the background here, but we'll resolve that here. And I think poor guy's nose is actually a little bit big. We might move the whole entire graphic to the right to do it, but I think that I want to make his nose a little bit smaller here. No, that's good. Never mind. Looks good like it is. Distinctive. Pull this one down one. Okay, and then we had the green colors on the lips as well down here. I'm going to go back to foreground and erase these colors here. Try that again. I erased some of the ones that were under my image. Looks good. He's got a little bit of character on this side. I like it. Looks kind of distinguished, like some kind of a warrior. Okay, so I'm going to take my secondary colors here. So my lights. I only have 1 light color on there. I don't think that that's enough. Let's do some skin shading up here. I'm going to take this this light color. Oh, I'm in the foreground layer. Whoops. That's not what I meant to do. Put this right in here. Put some light effects in here. I'm also going to put a dark effect along the eyes. Give it that sunken appearance a little bit. Anything else I can throw in the dark color? Not really. Maybe along the sides of the nose here. Looking pretty good. Okay, cool. So down on this one here, I'm going to take the dark color. And actually what's happened is I did the same thing, the same mistake I made the first time. I just realized it now. Is that I had my hair lined up the wrong way. So I have to take this out and put one in the bottom here. Oh, what's going on there? I'm on the hair layer. Oh, the skin's above it. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay, so I will also take my texture while I'm here. Okay, so we had the dark one at the top here. You know what? I'm going to take the dark one to the bottom as well. Fill the whole thing in. He almost looks like a happy grandpa there already. Like he's got his little eyes closed and everything. Okay, so I'm going to take my dark color all the way across, except let's give him 4 in the middle where it's not. And then I'm going to take the light color and do 2 and 2. Okay, now I've got the eyes to contend with here. I'm basically just going to trim out the same eye. I guess it'll be this one. And see if I can slap that in. Yeah, but I'm totally going to have to change his nose now because it's gigantic. He had much smaller nose in the original image. And also something I just noticed is he's got no ears showing up here, so his ears need to be covered. I'm going to take this straight. Oh, whoops. Don't do that. I'm going to take his ears straight down. And in skin, I'm going to erase. Okay, so for skin, I also need to erase his nose a little bit. Let's keep it there because you know what's going to happen actually is when we come back around with the outline, when we do an outline on this at the end, there's going to be a nice rounding to this part here, so it'll actually give it some proper effect. However, I'm going to add one little dot there. Perfect. Okay. Oh, and I've got some funny floating skin here. Oh, and a floating foreground. It's the only drawback to working in layers. Okay, so now I have the definition on his face to do, so I'm going to take my shadow from my skin up top here. And I'm looking at where this this shadow is falling under the hair. I'm going to keep that across, even though it's going to look like it's banding a little bit. I'm going to keep that across there. Kind of gives the face more depth, I think, looking at it now. All right, so we're looking at 1, 2, 3 down from the top. It comes across. It's also 3 down. It looks like about 3 down all the way across. The exceptions being where it kind of appears to be 3 down, but then it's not. So here we have, this actually comes one above here. So what we'll do is we will remove the eyes from there, and we're going to move the eyes down 1. And then I can bring this shadow down a little further too. Oops. that's sufficient. Looks good. We're then going to bring this down the sides here. And then I have to consider the shading that I just did on the eyes. So I've got the same effect basically. I've got 2, 1, 2, and then there's a light. Oh, actually it comes out to here, and there's a light spot right on the nose, right there, or on the bridge here between the nose and the eye. And then now I've got down the front part of the eye on this one, and into here. Well, it's looking pretty good. Pretty happy with that too. So I'm tempted to do now one more thing, which is the outline. I'm kind of wanted to see what that's going to look like, just because I've played so much into the outline on this particular piece in this piece here. This one up here, I know the outline's going to go around the hair and it's going to cut it off a little bit, but it's going to look good in the end. Whereas down on this one here, I know that there's a little bit of on the face, the detail is so small, like because there's just so many pixels, it's just so many. You need to really consider what your outline is going to look like as you go. Oh, I missed my hair shading. Let's do hair shading first. Okay, so I'm going to have to do black and white for hair shading. Basically, I'm going to take my opacity up, because it's going to be a lot easier to just say, hey, this is where I need it to be shaded while I'm drawing, as opposed to how much is going to be shaded and where and what it's going to look like and everything. Okay, so this is definitely shaded, this. I feel like I should bring that hair down one further. Right here. That should go down to there. I have to remove my skin layer. Oh my goodness. And then when I'm doing my hair shading, I can also accentuate it like that. Cool, looks good. Come up like this. Give it some texture. We have a very fine line running along the brim of the jaw. The edge of the jaw? The brim? Do you say brim? Is it the brim of the jaw? It's got a very full beard going on. From there, I'm tempted to throw some shading under the chin on here, like under his lip, but I think I'm going to leave that. I am going to put a touch right there, and then under here. Okay, these guys I'm just going to do 2 across the bottom. This one's going to go up 3, let's say. There's a lot of shading in here, actually. Oops, went one too far. I do extra shading in this section here. This one here, it's going to need it. Down in here also, very dark in that section, and light's not going to reach. Same here, we have okay, so and then up here we're going to go under the line of this one. Make it look like it's kind of coming in, and then here I'm going to give it just a couple points for texture. I'm going to erase that one there. It doesn't fit in. And then something I've done up here is to break this up, to give it again more texture. I'm going to do the same thing over here, just to separate this. these guys I'm going to give a little bit more depth. I've also got an indent here, but I'm going to skip that on my side view, I think. I've got that, it's got like where the hair is pulling out from the center, but I think I'm going to skip that for now. And I'm going to pull the opacity back to 50%. Oh, it's looking great. I'm so happy with that. Looks awesome. There's a couple of points here where if you notice from like an zoomed out, there's a couple of stray pixels in here that kind of stand out. Actually, there's 3 places. So one is, I'm actually going to go to the hair layer. One is this here. This guy was really standing out. Another one is this right here, and I'm going to take the white and accentuate the white instead of the dark here. And here, the dark one, I'm actually going to take the dark and pull it out. No, I'm not. I'm going to make the white continue. I'm going to leave that though because I like the texture on it. And in fact, I'm going to increase the amount of shading on this side of this one by bumping that same pattern up there. Looks good. I'm happy with that. When I bring this guy in, how's it compare? I think we need a dark background on there to really appreciate it. I haven't added a black background on this one. Let's add a black background just to have a look. Okay, so this layer here, I'm going to take complete black and go back to my main window, Shift B, everything black. There you go. This looks a little fluffy right here. And I kind of have 2 choices. I can either increase it or decrease the fluff. Let's go for decrease the fluff. Looks good. Except I'm going to do one thing is I'm going to remove the shading on this one right here. So it looks like it's kind of curling around. And I'm also going to, whoops, put a line in here too. So you can see the edge of this one coming in, and then it comes around underneath over there. Looks cool. Anything I'm missing? Yeah, that one dot right there needs a friend. Oh, and the skin is above it, so we'll have to peel the skin back as well. Haha. There we go. All right, I'm super happy with that. Looks really good. Matches the first one here. I think it looks pretty similar. Great. I'm going to end it here. I'm probably going to do a couple of frames before the next session there. There's going to be some detail that I'll do, but I'll probably have maybe 1 or 2 more sessions on this. I hope this has been helpful. You know, I'm just kind of spitballing, going along, drawing as I like. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you again next time.